Start Shutter here for the podcast of everything, and welcome to today's episode. In today's episode, I'm going to be teaching you guys the Red Hat Linux Academy guided exercise for Chapter 8, all guided exercises for Chapter 8, and the NetLab activity. In this activity, you will learn how to manage processes, control jobs, kill processes, and in the final lab activity, you will have a monitoring and managing Linux processes lab, and this will actually work for you to help you guys better understand Linux and the way that Linux operates. Now, if you guys have not already, most of your colleges will have a lab that is provided to you, a virtual lab for you guys to go into, and you will sign in with those instructions for your particular college or university. Once you get into the Red Hat or Linux open interface, that's the main page, you will then open up two terminal windows. That's going to be one terminal window for you to actually put on the left, and one terminal window for you to actually put on the right. Once you have done this, then let me backtrack. Let me actually explain why you're going to do this. Because in Chapter 8 exercise, it requires you to have two terminal windows open in order for the processes that are reflected on both terminals to actually interact with each other and actually work. It doesn't necessarily matter which side you put your terminal windows on. The left side is the one that you're primarily going to use, and the right side is going to be the secondary one. It doesn't really matter. It's recommended for you to use your first terminal window to do it on the left side because that's the primary window. However, it's not 100% required. If it makes you feel comfortable doing that, then feel free to do so. It will be better to do that and get it right than to get the whole thing wrong and then mess it up and get a bad grade on it. Anyway, once you've done all of that, you'll see a thing that says kiosk at Foundation 0, and you'll want to type in RHT-VMCTL space start space all, and it will start the whole system up so that you can connect via SSH. Now with the SSH, you're going to use the student at workstation, and as I have viewed on my screen that you cannot see right now, but I've actually viewed it on my screen. When you enter in SSH student at workstation, and you guys can follow along in the textbook if you have a copy of it, it will actually connect you to the workstation server so that you can actually complete the process of doing the first step. The first step is the lab processes -control start command, lab space. Okay, let me see here. This did not go through properly for some odd reason, and it gave me something on my screen. Okay, there we go. Lab processes -control, and I typed in control wrong. Start. There we go. Now it will tell you that verifying that server A is running, and you should see a thing that says success. Once you see that, and you have your two terminal windows open, on the left in each terminal, you're going to want to do the exact same thing as you did in the first terminal. So that means that when you're in the right terminal, you want to do the same thing. Okay, so it'll actually tell you that it's already running on the right terminal. So as long as you've already entered in the RHT command on the left terminal, the right terminal will pick it up. Now, in order to log in to the terminal for the right terminal, you have to enter in the same thing for workstation and the same thing SSH student at server A. You have to enter in both of those on both sides, which means since you've already entered in the workstation command on the left side, you're going to have to enter in the workstation command on the right side, and then you'll have to enter in the student at server A command on the left side, and then the student at server A command on the right side as well. You'll have to do it in that particular order, otherwise it's not going to work. Now, in the left window is where you're going to do most of the stuff. The left window for Chapter 8 controlling jobs is going to ask you to put in the command mkdir/home/student/bin, and that should go through. Once that goes through, it will not give you any output. Simply, all it's going to do is just give you the student at server A prompt, thus the prefix for your commands, and then you'll enter in vim/home/student/bin/control, and then it will actually take you into another part. If you're in the textbook, you'll have some minimized gray text. You're going to enter in hashtag or £sign after you hit the I key to insert into the boxes, and then you'll do no space. You will do bin//bash, and then you'll hit enter. It'll take you to the next line. You'll hit while true semicolon do. I don't know why that rhymes, but it does. You'll enter in echo in the next line, -n, so that's the -sign in, quotation marks, $, space, quotation marks. That's good. Then you're going to have a space. The two greater than signs, which form the right arrow, you'll hit that twice. It should be shift and that on any keyboard, including Mac, I believe. You'll do the squiggly line, which is the shift and then the key to the left of the number 1 on your numeric top row keyboard, not your numeric pad, but your top left keyboard. And then you'll hit /control and then _out file. And then you'll do an enter and you'll do sleep 1. And then done. And then once you've done that, you'll hit escape, which will then prompt you to go back to before you enter, and then you'll hit the colon for prefix for command, and then lowercase WQ. It will save it and it will kick you back out to where the server A prefix originally began. Now, to make the file executable, chmod +x/home/student/bin/control. So that's the command you would enter. And then it will go through. Now you have to actually execute the control script. You will do control technical, and it should execute. Now, something else that I should note is that after you start control technical, you have to move to the right terminal shell. The reason why you move to the right terminal shell is because if you try and do it in the left terminal shell, it won't let you type anything. It's actually tricking the system. It's waiting on the prompt from the right terminal. That's why I said you will have to bear with me, because these particular terminals, they can be tricky to work with, and the order and way that you do these is key to actually doing this. And then it actually will say on your screen. Actually, for some reason, it gave me a thing that says that it is not doing anything on the right terminal shell. So that's very interesting. I don't know. So it it said to me that it says cannot open for reading in the directory. With the Control Z, the control technical script is stopped. So, that's actually what it's supposed to do here. Now, in the left terminal shell, view the jobs list. You just type jobs, and it'll tell you that the jobs have stopped. Using the BG command, restart the job. Now use the jobs command again to verify that it's running. It is running. In the right terminal shell, confirm that the tail command is producing output. If it's not producing output, go back up and re-enter the tail command. The purpose for this, well, you'll see when we get to the end. Now that you've done that, you'll see that the error that we got on the right terminal shell when we did the job, when we stopped the command, did jobs, and then did the BG command, and then did the jobs command again where it was running, it actually fixed the error, and now it's outputting technical continuously. It's supposed to do that. In the left terminal shell, start 2 more control processes. So, control documents. So control documents and. Now that one started. Now, next one, control database and. Now, it's actually going to do database technical documents, database technical documents over and over again. This is what it's going to do. And then you'll go to the left terminal and enter in jobs again, and you'll see 3 jobs running. Now, you want to suspend the control technical process and confirm that it's been suspended. This is where it gets interesting. You're going to enter FG space percent number 1. FG percent number 1. Now, that's actually going to stop the control technical, and then control Z. That'll stop the control technical. Now, you'll enter in jobs again, you'll see that the database and documents is still running. The control technical is no longer putting out output. So that's actually good. Now we want to use the same command %2 to stop the documents one. I'm going to do FG%2, kill the documents one, and then do the same thing, enter in jobs to see if the documents one has stopped. Now all we see is database. Now in the left window, use PS, lowercase space, lowercase j, and then T. And what that's going to do, it's going to list out a bunch of stuff. And then you're going to enter in the jobs command again. Now, your database is still running. The other ones have stopped. Finally, enter in FG%3 and then hit Control Z again to stop the third one. Use jobs, and that should do that. Now that's good, because now we actually have a good decent stopping point here. And what I'm gonna actually do is I'm actually gonna go in to this terminal shell, the right terminal shell, and I'm actually going to use the Control C command to stop the tail command, and then the RM command delete the control out file. So it needs to actually, it's going to be RM, the squiggly line that I told you guys about that's really important. So I'm gonna enter that in if I can. Yep, I can. And then it's gonna be /control _ outfile. And now it should be deleted. And then you may take a screenshot of this if you guys are required to for your steps, and you guys can submit that. You're gonna want to log out from server A on both terminals, but here's the kicker. Don't log out of workstation, because now what we're gonna do is we're gonna continuously move on to the next step, which is in fact killing processes. Since we're going to move on to killing processes, and this one has 11 steps, so this one's shorter, but it's not as complicated. But you are going to need the workstation to be open. However, you want to go ahead and do lab processes control finish, because if you don't, it'll still contain the files for that particular lab. So that will cause the next one to glitch out and be bugged. So you want to go ahead and use that as well on both terminals that you open. And you'll keep both terminals open for this as well. So now that you've done that, let's do lab processes -kill start on both sides. So there's actually very good processes on all sides here. There are very good processes on all sides. Alright, we got that. Let's enter in the SSH student. Well, you guys know this already. You guys know the process. Alright. Let's go ahead and do that. There we go. It's entered in. Same thing, just different directions. mkdir, same thing. /home /student/bin. We're gonna come on, bear with me, people. We're gonna be here for a while. We're gonna continuously do this because I'm not stopping. I'm on a roll today. All right, let's go. vim /home /student/bin. Oh, this one's different. What does it say? /killing. You guessed it. Alright, insert. And then this is where it gets very interesting. You do basically the same command, but instead of control _out file when you're in the insert section, you're gonna do killing _out file. And then sleep 5. So I'm going to guide you through this. Once you've entered in the VIM and hit the I key for insert, it's going to be #! Same thing as before in this section, #! And then it's going to be /bin/bash. But like I said, there's going to be a couple things that are different. Number one, you're going to have that actual killing out file instead of control out file. The other thing is it'll be sleep 5. So it'll be slightly different than before. But if you guys have the command memorized for this particular task, then it should not be a challenge to redo the same command over again. Now, once you guys have that in there, and you guys have that whole command put in with the sleep 5 and then done, at the end, you guys are going to hit the escape key again and hit :WQ. It's going to save it. That's good. We got that. chmod +X. I know it sounds stupid. chmod +X and then /home /student/bin/killing. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this. +X /home /student/bin/killing. There we go. Now, this is different. In the left terminal shell, you're going to do cd /home /student/bin. So this is where it varies more. It starts to vary more as you go down the line. And once you've done that, then you're gonna do killing network and because it's going to ask you to do that. It's going to give you the numbers, and that's what you want it to have. It wants to give you the numbers for that. Now you have the killing network and killing interface and then lastly killing connection and. That's good. Note your processes will have different PID numbers, so if you guys don't get the same PID numbers as your textbook, that's fine too if you have the textbook. Each person's going to get a unique one. Tail, now in the right terminal shell, move over to the right terminal, use tail -f squiggly line /killing _out file. Tail -f wiggle line killing _ out file. And now you'll get the thing that's going to infinitely spam like it did before. And you'll see the jobs you'll go to the left terminal and enter in jobs, same like you did before. Now you're going to want to kill with the sig stop option. It's going to be kill uppercase sig stop all uppercase with be a dash before that as well. I missed that part. And then we're going to hit %1. And there's a reason for this. One, it's going to stop and kill the network process. So that's good. And then you're going to use the kill command again on the left hand side. And this time it's -sig term %2. So kill -sig term %2. And now it actually should kill the next one. Enter the job commands, and it's terminated the killing interface one. So now you have one more, and that is the connection. With that, you're going to enter in kill -sig cont. That's CONT, not U, and then the rest. I know it sounds weird, but it's Linux for you. I'm gonna enter that in sig cont. That's as if you're saying continue, and then %1, and then jobs. And then you'll see that the thing is running again. So that's actually very strange. It's supposed to do that. Now, let me explain this part. In the step 9.1, I'm going to do kill -sig term %1. And then the same thing, but it's going to be %3. There we go. Enter jobs. And you'll see that they have been terminated. Alright. Now, for step 10, ps-ef, lowercase pf, space -ef, shift, and then you'll hold down the shift key and hold down the backward / key, which is to the right of the right bracket and underneath the backspace key. That's gonna put that in there. It's gonna put a bar in there, which I don't know exactly what it's called, but it does put that in there, and that's what's required for the command apparently. So I'm just gonna enter that in, and then you'll see it'll give you some random outputs, and you're gonna do, and then in here, you're going to do p-kill -sig term tail, and that's going to actually kill that. and then you're gonna do it again. You're gonna do the ps-ef again, the same command with ps-ef, same exact thing, and this time it should show you something different than what you had originally got. Now, in the right terminal shell, confirm that everything else has been terminated, so it's not running. You'll see it's not running, and then exit from both sides on server A. But don't exit out the workstation, because then you'll have to log in again, and don't close the lab yet. You're still not finished. We're still not finished yet. We have 2 more to do. Lab processes dash kill finish on both sides. We'll finish the lab for you. Processes dash kill finish, and then that should help you. That should send you back to the workstation for part 3 of the Linux activity. Oh, and also, if you guys did already do that, go ahead and send a screenshot of that next portion. So that way, if your instructor requires a screenshot, that is, you can get the grade for that. All right. Monitoring process activity. Lab processes dash monitor start. Alright. Lab processes dash monitor start on both sides. You guys gotta do that on both sides. Okay. Now the server A thingy. At this point, I'm getting tired, but I know this is unrelenting, but I'm going to continue to do it because I know we have students and adults alike, older adults alike, who need to know how to do this. And so this one actually is a lot more trickier because it has a lot more variable related stuff in it. It's also got 13. Also got 13 steps in it, so this one's probably the longest out of all of them. Once you guys have all of that and you've logged into server A, do the mkdir/home/student/bin. Like I said, same thing. We're just gonna we're gonna still reuse some of the major commands. A lot of the commands are actually gonna get used. And now something else that I will note about this particular chapter for the chapter 8.8 guided exercise is that with the 2.2 section for step 2, it doesn't give you the command in bold that you have to do. So with this, I think it's expecting you to actually already know this. And so in this particular instance, we're actually going to do it. We're actually going to do it based upon. So that's actually where it's going to get tricky, because in this instance, it's not going to give you the command. So you have to try and figure out what to do essentially. And based upon what we've done in the past, we can already infer that it's probably going to be very similar with the VIM like we did in the past. The difference, well, you're going to do the monitor instead of the other stuff. So you're going to do monitor at the end of the students thing. So think of it like this: VIM/home/student/bin/monitor. That's effectively how you're going to do that. And the reasoning for this is really simplistic, but the main reason why is because it wants you to the textbook really wants you to memorize the commands, and so in doing this, it's testing your knowledge to see if you remember what command to do. And in a way, it says create a script named monitor in the /home/student/bin directory. It's actually those monitor and then the directory name home/student/bin. It's actually it's not in bold or not emphasized, but it's actually in a very different font, which implies that you're supposed to use those words, but you'll take the monitor and put that at the end after the slash after bin, which means it is really what it wants you to do is use the hints to actually do it yourself effectively. And so I know teaching you guys this is not letting you guys memorize that particular step by itself, but what you have to understand is that when it does that to you, really all it wants is just for you to supplement the knowledge and basically come up in your mind and say, hey, I remember this. Let me show you that I remember this. Essentially, what it wants you to challenge yourself to memorize it. And granted, I know some people like myself who may have autism or whatnot, who may have some learning disabilities or impediments, might not memorize that as well, and that's why I went ahead and gave you the command for that, because some people are not going to memorize that at all, and even in general, most people would not memorize that. Some people can, some people can't, and so I just went ahead and gave it to you because I wasn't gonna make you guys sit there and guess, especially in an episode. But what I really want to note is that with this in particular, it's something that a lot of Linux relies on memory, and even when you go into the workforce, a lot of the times your employer will expect you to memorize this particular stuff, not sit there on your phone looking it up the entire time, because at the end of the day, you went to college for a reason, and if you don't know the stuff, then why would they have hired you in the first place? I know that's a little harsh, but that's just how it is. And so this really just gets you ready for it, essentially. It just gets you ready for it, basically. And now I've entered in all that. I've entered in the ch mod. This one will be ch mod will actually be a plus x instead of just x this time. And then it will be /home/student/bin/monitor. Once that's entered, enter in the top command and you'll see all this other stuff. In the left terminal shell, use lscpu command. You'll see all this other stuff. I entered this into the wrong area. So what I'm actually gonna want to do is I'm actually gonna want to go back. Out of here and enter this into the right terminal shell. I entered it in on the wrong side. So I've gotta go back and fix that. But yeah, with the top command, you enter that in on the right side, not the left. Because what's gonna happen if you enter it in on the left is it's gonna glitch out and you're not gonna be able to get out of it, and then you're just gonna be frustrated. You're gonna be tempted to restart. You could actually use Control Z to stop that particular script, and then that would take you back out of it without having to do all that other stuff if you do in fact make a mistake. So if you do make a mistake and enter that in, and you end up on the left side and you entered it in on the left side, don't worry about it. Just use use that and just use that command and whatnot to just go in and fix it, basically. Then you'll use monitor and on the left particular terminal, and you'll run that twice. And then and then with that, really this version is really wanting you to do is it's really just wanting you to like look at stuff. It's really not actually expecting you to like do all of that. So that was step 10. For step 11, don't worry about entering the top command again. Just worry about doing monitor and through more times. Really, all it's wanting you to do is just move stuff to the top, and it's wanting you to just observe it for when you go in and do the actual lab next. Now in the right terminal shell, you're gonna want to press K. You're gonna press K. You're gonna want to press K. And you're gonna want to do that. And you're gonna just want to hit that, and then it's gonna do that. Now, confirm that no monitor processes remain in top or remain in the top command, and there's nothing there, and then use Q to exit the top command. And then you guys can log out of server A on both terminals. Take your screenshot if you need to, and then enter the lab processes monitor finish command on both sides. And actually you want to exit out of server A first. Oh, there are stop jobs. Okay. So there are stop jobs. Whenever it happens, it says that there are stop jobs. That can actually become problematic. And that's where you need to go back through and just simply check, just to make sure that there are no jobs, and you guys can actually kill the jobs. You guys will actually need to kill those jobs, and so you'll still have a monitor and you'll still have 2 other jobs that need to be killed. So in this instance, you guys have already taken your screenshot. If you guys have already taken your screenshot and you get an error where you guys cannot get a out of the server A window, you guys want to close out of the terminal. You guys have already taken the screenshot. You guys can go back in and take a breath and just activate another terminal with and log on to workstation again, and then you guys don't have to do the lab processes monitor finish unless you guys feel comfortable doing that. I don't think it's gonna matter because it will reset everything if you do close out that monitor. But if not, just enter it in just to be safe. And see, mine didn't delete because I closed out of the workstation. On my computer, in my NetLab assignment, it works differently, so I have to enter mine in. So just do it just to be sure, because sometimes it glitches like that. And then with the actual chapter lab, now lab processes review. We are on the last one, lab processes -review, start, and you're gonna do this on both sides because you need both windows open for this in order to actually do this. So you guys will log in, and then you guys will open a terminal window. You guys already have the terminal windows open, so you guys don't have to worry about this. And then you're gonna do SSH student at server B this time. So this time it's different. The reason why the review is server B is because is for various reasons. More reasons that I can list right now because that would actually cause issues. But same thing, it doesn't give you the bold up here. It just wants you to do the same thing you did before in the left terminal window, where you guys did the mkdir/home/student/bin, and then just and then did the other section, and really with that, like that all in itself is pretty basic. Now granted, I just made a big error, and I just clicked out of my net lab. If you click out of your lab, don't worry, you guys end your textbook by accident, and it happens. Most labs you guys can re-enter without having to restart anything. Like I was just able to get back into my lab without restarting anything at all. So I'm just gonna log back into my Red Hat textbook really quickly, because I hit the X button on my computer and just completely got out of everything. So I'm gonna get back into it really quickly, hit launch here, and yeah, it's gonna start me back on the lab. So there we go, I'm back in it. Now you want to do, now once you guys have done the mkdir and did all that, you guys will then notice that I actually don't know what I just did, but I think I maximized the window here. I want to minimize it. Can I minimize this? I kinda, yep. Don't do full screen. I don't want to do full screen, and apparently it's making me do it. It's making me do the full screen thingy, so I can't. Guys, this is why, guys and gals, people. This is why I don't like. That's why I do not like having this stuff happen like that, because what happens is that if you like do this where you have now I'm gonna have to pin the terminals to different sides. I'm gonna have to move the terminals to different sides here, because this thing is being very stupid today. Alright, this is the other one. I'm gonna move this to the right hand side. With this thing you can actually drag and drop them like you can with Windows 11, actually. It's very interesting. I fixed it. I got it. Thank goodness. The right terminal is back over here, and the left terminal has enough room. Okay. Alright, cool. So that almost messed me up, but I got it. Alright, now you're gonna do the vim command again, which is the same thing. This time you will enter process and it'll be 101 after the bin portion. Process 101, I for insert, and then you'll do the same thing as before. I am very tired at this point. I know everybody's tired. It's a long tutorial process. I'll try not to talk as much anymore, but you guys do need a guide, so then again, I have to talk. I don't want to have to talk while I'm doing this. Also, it's a podcast in traditional format, which means you guys have to listen to it. I'm gonna try my best. I know it's not perfect, but I will do what it takes. Alright. Maybe one more zero. There we go. Bracket, colon, do, okay. Variable equals $sign. Alright. Nice. Variable var +1, parentheses. Alright, done. Sleep 1. And then done. Escape, colon, WQ. Just like that. Alright, now we gotta run the top utility in the right window. Very simple. Go to right window, hit top. That's very simple. Alright, left window. Back over here. Grep, quotation marks, model name. So we're gonna do grep, G-R-E-P, quotation marks, model, space, name. Quotation mark, ending quotation marks, /PROC, /CPU info. Hold down the shift key and hit that backward slash thing again, like we did before. WC -1. So it's actually so it's actually going to give you it gave me an error, so that's typically normally what happens. So I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna continue here, cd/home/student/bin. There's a reason why you'll get these errors sometimes. And then you'll do process 101 and after you've done that first step. Alright. Now it says now my thing is saying permission denied. That is something that it's not really supposed to do. I'm gonna go to the right terminal and press Shift M. Okay. Alright, something else to keep in mind here is that you're gonna be spending a lot of time. If you're doing the Red Hat Academy, you'll spend a lot of time on labs. Like, quite a lot of time on labs. And so, Shift B, Shift W, and then the right terminal shell exit top, and then that's that. Now you're gonna copy the process command, and that's actually something that I find very interesting. Is that for whatever reason, in this particular lab, I don't know why, but I'm getting error here. I'm getting some errors in some spaces. Now, and then I think now I see it. So I'm gonna have to, yeah. So yeah, I see where the error is. So the error is that second step there, that first step. So that first step didn't necessarily have to be done. Good that we did it, but now it's actually now going down the list. It's actually confirmed. That's not actually what it asked us to do. So now we gotta go back. Bear with me because this is what happens when you have a person, an actual college student as your teacher. You actually do get some things that can occur. All right. So yeah. So I think that's pretty far down the line. So at this point, I have to admit this is one of those days where I did not come prepared for these 12 steps. So here's what I'm going to do. If you guys do not have the Red Hat textbook, I will leave a link to that. But I'm actually gonna post. I will post on my Twitter page when I get my thing my thing situated here with this, and I will actually post on my Twitter page with the results of this, so that you guys can actually see where I have gone in and gotten the grade and everything, and you see the processes and everything that I took to do it. Alright, that was a long episode. It's actually good that I did this episode because this is episode 9, and actually with the episode that I've done, it has been beneficial to me because I'm reteaching and reinforcing what I've learned. It's also beneficial to you because you guys get to learn, well, at least for the first 3 chapters that we did, the correct steps for actually doing the process for Linux. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. So minor flaw at the very end, but we got through 3. So, most people would really, if you guys are really struggling with Linux, would have asked to get through 1. So I know I was when I first started. So yeah, I think we did a nice job. Very good activity. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Anyway, if you guys have not already donated to the podcast yet in this 50-minute episode lesson, you guys can donate. Go to anchor.fm/tpoe/support and just drop whatever amount you want. It is recurring. If you guys want an option for a one-time donation, email my podcast. I will leave my email in the description so that you guys can email me. And you guys can email me to set up a one-time donation. It's using Cash App, so you guys know where it's going. I don't have any other source just yet. Like, I don't have Square or anything like that just yet. I do have a Patreon. I'm working on getting that straight. Even that is a one-time donation. If you guys feel better donating with a recurring donation and then canceling it before you're charged again to make a one-time donation, I mean, I've seen people do that before. That is always an option. So I've seen people do that before with trial periods for streaming services too, to get the free trial and then cancel it before it's over. So if you guys do that, do the fee, pay out, that sort of thing, and then you guys have like 7 days left, cancel, then you guys will not be charged for that. It's perfectly fine. That's another way to do a one-time donation. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. Gosh, I choked. Don't choke. Alright. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you guys will catch me, Sierra, Reese, and Kyle in another episode in the future.